What does wasted potential actually look like to you? Not failure, not defeat, something quieter, more intentional. The man who almost became someone and then stepped back right before it cost him everything. He protected himself from failure so well, he became the person who could no longer win anything. Because if you never commit completely, you never fail completely. The version of you that could have been, he stays blameless. Most men waste their potential one of three destructive ways, and none of them realize which one they're in while it's happening. Let's start with the first one, delusion.
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed, but I do.
Arthur Fleck didn't become the Joker because society failed him. He became the Joker because he was a broken man who couldn't handle reality. So he constructed one inside his own head, one that made him feel more than just worthless. In his journal, he wrote, "I just hope my death makes more sense than my life." He was so starved for a reason to exist that he fantasized about Maury Franklin, the talk show host, telling him, "I'd give it all up to have a son like you." Not because he wanted fame, but because he wanted a father. Someone powerful enough to make his existence feel real, to finally make him feel worth something. He created an entire imaginary relationship with the man who didn't even know he existed. Every rejection chipped away at what little he had left. The fantasy wasn't escapism anymore, it was survival, and a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous thing in the world. So when Maury brought him on television not to understand him, but to mock him in front of millions of viewers, Arthur snapped and killed him on live TV. You've probably met this man before. He'll tell you exactly where he's going, who he's going to become, but years pass and he's still in the same place, saying the same thing. These made-up versions of himself that only exist in conversation. The greats are delusional too. The difference is theirs demand real action. His just keeps him safe. Delusion is comfortable because it never demands anything real. But the next archetype had talent, power, love, but he ended up destroying it anyways.
You look tired. I don't sleep well anymore. Because of your mother? I don't know why I keep dreaming about her.
Anakin was the chosen one. Brilliant, powerful, but brilliant without emotional architecture is just a faster way to collapse from the inside out. He loved Padme, but genuine love requires trust in something you can't control. And after watching his mother die in his arms, he became unstable. The only thing that remained was a feeling of helplessness. When the visions came of Padme dying the same way, Anakin lost trust with the Force and fell into uncontrollable fear. The same helplessness he felt returned, only this time, he swore he'd do anything to stop it. In the end, after falling deeper into darkness, he attacked the very woman he was trying to save, and betrayed the only man who ever called him a brother. Fear didn't just cost him everything, it forced him to live with that pain forever. His archetype shows up in real life too. The talented man who's probably driven, but every decision quietly routed through one question: what do I stand to lose? Fear isn't just an emotion for him, it's the operating system that influences every decision he ever makes. And it doesn't matter how gifted you are, if fear is making your decisions, you're already one step closer to losing yourself the same way Anakin did. Anakin's fear is easy to sympathize with, but the next man is harder to pity, because from the outside, his life looked like everything you've ever wanted.
My killers who will not take no for an answer. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
Jordan Belfort didn't destroy himself because he lacked ambition. He destroyed himself because nothing was ever enough for him. He came from nothing. The first time he tasted what money could do to his identity, he became addicted to it. It turned him from ordinary into someone people envied. He didn't fall in love with the money. He fell in love with what it turned him into. The admiration, the spectacle. That was the real drug. But here's what indulgence actually does. It doesn't fill the void, it feeds it. And instead of stopping, he fell deeper into it. He couldn't shrink back into humanity. The performance had already eaten the man. He slowly stopped being Jordan and became the wolf. Teresa was there before the performance. She knew him when he was still just a kid from Queens, a kid with nothing to prove. But she was ordinary, and reminded him of the version of himself he was trying to erase. He left her for Naomi, but Naomi wasn't love to him. She was proof of his newfound status. She was the kind of woman you acquire when you're powerful. Naomi wasn't just a trophy to show off, but to remind him that he's actually a somebody in life. She was evidence that he escaped the life he considered mediocre. He was aware of the rod, and he kept going anyways. Because indulgence doesn't just reshape your morals, it makes you rationalize the very thing you know is destroying you. He built an empire and lost himself. The world saw the wolf, but Jordan disappeared inside it. All three of these archetypes abandoned themselves long before they collapsed. That's the tragedy of wasted potential. It erodes slowly through the stories you tell yourself. Because potential is terrifying. Not because you might fail, but because full commitment removes every excuse you built. And for many men, protecting that dream becomes safer than testing it. The question isn't whether that version of you is still there. The real question is whether you're willing to do what Anakin, Jordan, and Arthur never could. Face them directly, without completely abandoning yourself. Fear, indulgence, delusion. Most men think these are flaws. Their identities built brick by brick to protect you from the only thing scarier than failure, yourself. If you want to understand how that happens, watch my video on shallow identity.